Good evening, everyone. It is time for the first installment of the YouTube Hangout session, where we're going to be spending some time this evening, and we're going to be talking about 10 tips, 10 tips on how you can grow your YouTube channel. So do me a favor, get your favorite beverage, huddle up. It's a time for the YouTube Hangout. Come on and hang out with me. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the YouTube Hangout live stream. I'm your host, Walter Strong. If you're new here and you want to find your passion and purpose on YouTube, then we want to welcome you to the Hangout. To those of you who are new to the channel, new to my channel, my name is Walter Strong III, where we put together great content to encourage new and existing YouTube creators to grow their channel and to get more views, but at the same time finding their passion and purpose. And this was not a live stream that was planned. I decided to put together this evening because I felt it was important to spend some time with the YouTube community, spend some time with the Huddle community. And so those of you who are watching me as this live stream goes live, let me know in the comment section, in the chat, where you're watching me from. Those of you in the Huddle community who may be watching me this evening, let me know where you're watching me from. And to those of you who will watch the replay, let me know in the comment section where you're watching me from. And so this evening, we're going to get together and talk about how we can help each other grow our YouTube channels, especially when it's a small channel and we're starting out. And so I want to come on and share 10 tips, 10 tips that I am learning that has definitely helped me grow my YouTube channel over the last 60 days and seeing some significant growth. And so let's get into these 10 tips. Get you a pad, a pen, and take some notes. And let's talk about these 10 tips. And so the first tip that I want to share with you this evening on how you can grow your YouTube channel as a YouTube creator starting out is that you have to have clarity about your channel. Now, I realize when we first start out on YouTube, we have some ideas of how we would like to do, record our videos and release our YouTube channel, but we really don't in most cases have clarity in who our channel was for and who our videos are going to be made for. So we go through that process, some say, of making our first 100 videos, which will unfortunately not be our best videos, but we go through that process because we're trying to find our audience. We're trying to find our creative voice. And so finding that creative voice, I believe, helps me and you to find clarity on who we want to reach with our channel. Who is our target audience that we want to reach? And so when we have clarity on who we are looking to try to reach and who is identifying with the first 100 videos that we are making, the next question about clarity that we need to ask is, how are we going to be able to add value to that audience that we are now connecting with? Because our content is going to connect with people who have similar like values and interests just as we do. They're going to connect with our channel based on the problems and the pain points that we can address and solve in their life. And so as we do these things, we will be able to have clarity on who our audience is, and then we need to have clarity on how we're going to be able to add value to that target audience. And well, what they say in the YouTube world, finding our niche audience. And so I believe that's the first tip that we need to really look at as a small YouTube creators that has a growing channel that is starting to grow, having clarity on how we're going to reach them. And that could be through YouTube videos that may be anywhere between 4 to 10 minutes. It could be live streaming, doing live streams. It could be long form content. Maybe you are doing, video podcasting, or maybe you are doing shorts. Whatever content you are putting out, those are going to be the tools that you will be using with YouTube to be able to add value to your audience, and the tools that will help you to have clarity about your channel. Because I believe when we don't have clarity, here's what happens. Number one, we will find ourselves frustrated. We will find ourselves frustrated why we're not getting any views and why individuals are not watching our content. Number two, we're going to find ourselves in a place of uncertainty about our YouTube channel, and is this channel something we should be working with and doing, or should we start another YouTube channel with the hopes that things would get better? But if we're struggling on the first YouTube channel, we're going to be struggling on the second one because we don't have clarity. So you're going to have frustration, you're going to have uncertainty, and then you're going to have slow progress and slow growth on the channel. You may have some growth through some family and friends that may subscribe to your channel. You may have some family and friends that may watch your video. You may have some family and friends that you share your videos through your other social media channels, but the growth is going to be molasses slow, just, man, uh like a turtle in a race against a hare. It is going to be slow. It's because you don't have clarity about your channel, and I experienced that in my own growth and development as a content creator, as a content entrepreneur on YouTube. I experienced it myself. I started my channel back in 2018, and at first, I launched my channel with the ideas and the aspirations to have content that was going to be made to encourage men how to be great husbands, devoted fathers, and faithful sons. But what I found over a period of time, because men don't like to talk about issues that we go through and we keep things to ourselves, um, creating content on YouTube with the hopes that they would be able to connect with the videos and just leave a comment and share with me how the videos were adding. I wasn't connecting with that audience. It just seems like the ones I was connecting with were with women, because they wanted to understand what was going on in the heart and in the mind of a man, and why we do some of the things that we do. But the true audience that I wanted to connect with through my videos, it just wasn't connecting. So I began to pivot, I guess, and began to expand and make videos just not for men, but for men and women, with the hopes to encourage them to find their passion and their purpose in life. But as I looked at that approach and strategy that I was using, I began to understand that that was just too broad, because people who want to find their passion and purpose, it could be maybe in a different profession, in a different career. It could be a mother or a father. It could be a son or a daughter who wants to find their passion in their stage of life. And so the audience was just too broad, again, because of my lack of clarity, there was frustration. Because of my lack of clarity, there was uncertainty. And because of my lack of clarity, there was slow growth. And then that's when I began to realize and to understand that I needed to be able to find my niche audience, that I felt that my content could resonate with, and that is with other fellow YouTube creators who are existing and that may be struggling as I was struggling in the first 2 years. This third year, I'm starting to see some growth and I'm starting to see some progress. So instead of waiting till I get to the finish line and have these, X amount of views and subscribers, bring someone else with me along on the journey and to encourage them. And we walk side by side in our growth and in our development as content creators. As I found clarity in on my channel and who I want to reach and how I want to reach them, to encourage someone else who's along with me on the journey to do the same thing on their channel. So we got to have clarity. Tip number one, you have to have clarity about your channel. You got to have clarity. Tip number two. Tip number two is about you have to be consistent on YouTube. You have to be consistent. You can't be a content creator or a person who makes videos one day and then doesn't make your next one 3 months later. You can't be a person who puts out a series of videos one day, but doesn't do anything the next 6 months to a year and just lets the channel sit there. There's no way you can grow like that. There's no way you can grow your channel like that. Think about in terms if you wanted to play an instrument, if you wanted to play the violin and you wanted to become good at it. You really wanted to become good at it, not in the sense of you're going to go play at Carnegie Hall or play at a top symphony, but you wanted to be able to play the violin or the viola. And so you have to spend time practicing. You have to be consistent in that time that you set aside to want to get better at it. And it's the same way on YouTube, and being able to put together content and uploading it and posting it on YouTube. And so, um, rather if you're just putting one piece of content out a week, maybe on a Wednesday like I do, or having a live stream every Saturday like I do with the Huddle that we have every Saturday, where we bring on other YouTube content creators who share about their journey, some that are well known and established, and some that are growing just like me and you. But it's about consistency. Consistency is going to be the key to helping me and you grow on YouTube, and consistency is going to be the key to help you to grow your channel. And once you begin to get consistent, then you're going to see some progress, consistency, and upload, because then the algorithm can then begin to see what type of content you're putting out. It has a body of work that they can then to serve to other viewers. We're going to talk about YouTube analytics as another tip shortly. But then you can then go into your YouTube analytics and look at back at your first 20 to your first 30 videos and see the consistency there as you are uploading videos and posting them, and how people are starting to respond, where your views, where your subscribers is, all of those metrics. But none of those things matter if you're not consistent. Yeah, you may get a video that may give you about 200, 300 views, but then if you don't, you're gone the next 6 months, then you're going to start losing subscribers. And then when you release your next video, then it's like you're starting all over again. And having consistency is a key tip to you growing your channel on YouTube. Hey, if you're getting great value out of this discussion on 10 tips that will help you to grow your YouTube channel, do me a favor, smash the like button by clicking the thumbs up button um, in the chat. Those of you who are watching me, let me know where you're watching me from in the chat. and I will shout you out. And also give me a hashtag value. If you have a webcam, if you have a camera and a microphone, and you would even be interested in coming on, I will even bring you on just to kind of talk about your channel and some of the things that you're doing. So let me see here. Oh, right there we go. Boom. Who do I got here? I'm Mr. KH Gaming. Let me shout you out. Welcome to the Huddle, man. Welcome to the Huddle community. Um, if you have any questions or comments, or if you want to come on and just let me know about your channel, I will drop the StreamYard link in the chat for you to come on. Give me 1 second to do that. Boom. Copy that. Okay, boom. Let me go over here to YouTube. So I'm just having a YouTube hangout tonight. YouTube hangout. And so Mr. KH Gaming, if you want to come on, let me just do this for a second. Put this in the chat. There we go. Put that in the chat there. All right. So that link is there, Mr. KH Gaming. If you got a webcam, a camera, microphone, great lighting, some decent audio, hey, come on and we'll talk about, how we can encourage one another to grow as YouTube content creators. Okay, so let's get back to our next tip. So we talked about having clarity. We talked about consistency. Let me kind of go a little further on the consistency part. I realize we have things going on in our lives, and KH Gaming, I know you have things that are going on in your life as well. Rather if you're married and you have a wife or a husband, if you have children, you have work, your career, if you're in school, we got to balance these things out, and at the same time, be an individual who can be consistent in making YouTube content. And so that means maybe scheduling some time and putting together your video ideas, and then taking some time where you can block out and shoot some videos, shoot some YouTube shorts if you want to do some YouTube shorts, and then just batch that content out, over a period of time. And that, I believe, also will have the consistency. And I think also, not just in terms of consistency in terms of content, but consistency in our message. Because if we're going to make videos for the audience we want to connect with, there has to be a consistency in our message, which is another tip which we will touch on, but it kind of overlaps. But having that consistency in our message. So if we are in this case, Mr. KH Gaming, you have a, by your name, I'm assuming you have a gaming channel. So if you are playing Fortnite, if you are, and I haven't played video games in a long time, not since my Madden days, not since my SmackDown days and my 2K Live NBA basketball. But if you are focusing on Fortnite, for example, there's that consistency where as your audience is watching you through your videos or your live stream, they know that this is a gaming channel. They don't turn around and come back and find content that is going to be on you vlogging about your favorite dog or your favorite fish or your favorite turtle. There's no consistency there. They're gonna go, okay, what's going on here? So there has to be some consistency in the content we upload. There has to be consistency in what we're doing. And so I believe that is a tip that will help me and you to grow our YouTube channel. Tip number 3, building confidence on camera. Building confidence on camera. And this is even something that I'm working on myself each day. And I over a period of time, it's taken some time for me to get confident. And I think live streams is where I begin to really connect with building confidence, because live streams are very natural to me. I feel like I'm in my element and in my zone. And so besides the technical and the multitasking that you have to do in comments and pulling up things, banners, it helped me to build my confidence in just being on camera. And so building confidence on camera, the more you do that, I believe also the audience will begin to see that. The audience will begin to identify that because they'll see the genuineness and the sincerity of you as a content creator. Now, that's not to say if you're a person that's struggling with confidence on camera that people are not willing to give you a shot or a chance, but they will. But at the same time, it's something that we have to constantly keep working on, because if I'm watching someone about 3 or 4 videos and I'm starting to see a pattern that there's just a lack of confidence there, and then I go away for a while and I still see that there over 3 months or 6 months, that may not be a channel that I'm going to be willing to go back and to visit and watch, despite how much the title and the description may be appealing to me, no matter how much of the thumbnail may be intriguing for me to click. But if the person is lacking confidence, um, it's going to hurt the growth of your channel. And so, as content creators, especially if you are part of a community and you work with other individuals who can kind of give you some constructive criticism, sometimes that will help build your confidence. Getting feedback, that was something that I was real big on in my early um, stages of doing live streams. When I would bring on other guests, I would make it a point when the live stream was over to ask them their feedback on how the live stream was, what they enjoyed about it, and what opportunities for growth can I take from it that they felt that needed to do. And over a period of time, as kept taking that constructive feedback and wanting to get better, wanting to become more confident on camera, even if I make mistakes in the process, I've just become more confident. And I believe you can do it too as well. Hey, if you're getting great value out of this discussion that we're talking about, 10 tips how to grow your YouTube channel on YouTube in 2021. Smash the like button by clicking the thumbs up. Um, do me a favor, share this live stream on your favorite social media channel. And let's get some people in here on the live stream tonight. I know this wasn't scheduled, but I just wanted to kind of come on and just hang out with some content creators on the Wednesday night. All right, so we are up to tip number 4. Tip number 4 is you have to have a clear brand and message. And what I've learned about that is, as I was going through my journey about what I wanted my YouTube channel to be about and the audience that I felt it was going to resonate and click with, that meant to me was when you came onto my channel, when you click on my channel for the first time, it was important to me that you understood what that channel was about. You understand what my YouTube channel is about. It's about helping new and existing YouTube creators to find their passion and find their purpose on YouTube. And when you click on that, you see it in my channel art. You see it in my thumbnails. You see it in my title and my description. There is, and I'm not talking about from a personal branding standpoint where you have your personal brand on Facebook, you have your personal brand on YouTube, you have your personal branding on Instagram or your website, but it's all throughout your content, throughout your videos. There is a consistency there that people can identify with. And so if sometimes as small YouTube creators will kind of go to those that are more established that may be having a what they call channel reviews, and we'll ask them to review our channel. But I don't knock those things. I think those are some good things, especially when they're willing to offer their time and their service for free to give us some tips and some strategies how to grow our channel. However, we should be able to know how to do our own channel reviews. We should be able to pull up our own channels and say, okay, here's my channel art. Does my channel art tell someone who doesn't know me for the first time coming to the channel, is my brand and messaging consistent? Is it seen in my titles and descriptions? Is it seen in my thumbnails? Is it seen in the playlist that I'm putting together? Is there a consistent brand and message? And if it's yes, that means we're putting in ourselves in the best possible position to have growth on YouTube. However, if that is the answer is no, then that means we got work to do. I got work to do. You got work to do, because you have to ask yourself, okay, if you're on YouTube, and again, this is another tip that'll kind of overlap, but what's the purpose, or why are you committing, doing videos? Are you just doing it for fun, or is this something you want to make this as a full-time business and monetize your channel and bring in income? Then guess what? You got to have a consistent brand and message. Tip number five. Tip number five is we have to become students of YouTube. We got to become students of YouTube. Everything that YouTube has to offer me and you as content creators, we got to become a student and be willing to pick up the pen, pick up the pad, and begin to learn, how the YouTube studio works. We have to learn, about the YouTube editor, and if we need to remove some content from a video, and so that way maybe because we've gotten a copyright claim because we had some music in there we shouldn't have had, instead of trying to pay someone, I'm not knocking if that's what you got the dollars to do it, but learning about YouTube editor and how you can be able to remove certain pieces of content from your video without you having to take it down, learning about the YouTube studio, learning about YouTube editor. They also have where they have the YouTube Academy, where you can it's free. They give us advice on the latest things going on about YouTube Shorts. Maybe you want to be a person who wants to start doing shorts. Go to the YouTube Academy and look at some videos that they've put together on YouTube Shorts. Maybe you want to learn about live streaming, how you want to take your live stream to the next level. We have to be students of YouTube. We have to be willing to go to school, because there are no shortcuts. I'm finding, KH Gaming, I'm finding there are no shortcuts in the world of YouTube. We got to put in the work. Got to put in the work, put in the time, put in the effort, be a student. The same way our parents used to say, hey, I want you to go to school, do your very best, put forth your best effort, have fun at it, but uh, produce the work that will produce the B's, that will produce the A's. We got to become students of YouTube. So that's another tip. Tip number 6, we have to have a clear goal while we're starting the channel, because there are going to be times where it's going to get frustrating. It's going to be times where we may want to give up. There are going to be times where we just feel like we're going to be spinning our wheels. I know I've went through that many a times in my first 2 years, and I got to a point, and I'm speaking to those of you who are going to be watching the replay. Shout out to some of those of my replay viewers who will be watching the replay. I came to a point where I said, you know what? As much as I say in my heart I want to quit, I can't quit, because I began to look at how much I was invested in this. Got a microphone, got a webcam, I got 2 monitors, I got my laptop. I've bought other equipment like lighting, all the different things on my YouTube journey that I'm trying to do and grow as a YouTuber. And when I begin to add things up on how much I invested in just over these last 3 years, and I said, for me to quit now, then where is my ROI? Where is my return on investment? Well, you mean to tell me I just took all of that and threw all of that down the toilet, all that good money down the toilet, and didn't get a return on investment. I was determined to be able to get my first 100 subscribers because I did not want to fail at this. I may have failed at some things in my life. And if you can identify with that feeling of wanting to quit and to give up, drop down in the chat and let me know. And what you identifying, saying, hey, look, I wanted to quit too, but you hung up in it, you hung in there, and you did not quit. And so having a goal about what your YouTube channel will help you stay motivated. It will help you not to quit. It will help you to get through those frustrating times. It will help you through those times when you um where you're frustrated, where you want to give up, when even when you feel like you don't have the inspiration and the motivation to create videos or to do a live stream. Having that goal, you can go back and look at that goal, and that's what we talk about on this channel, about passion, purpose, being able to see, when you understand the purpose of why you're doing something, you're able to push through those times where you get frustrated. You're able to push through those times when you feel like no one else is watching your content. I appreciate KH Gaming, just the simple fact that you spent some time being on this live stream and watching. I appreciate it. And so it's okay. And we have to have a goal of why we are on YouTube. And if we have a goal on why we're on YouTube, in those times when we get frustrated, want to give up, we'll be able to push through. We'll be able to push through. I got the one, the only, Mr. Paul Andre Devera, live here on YouTube Hangout. Paul, if you look, you'll see the link. If you want to come on, hang out with me. If you got the battle station fired up, dude, you're welcome to come on. You're welcome to come on. Um, so we're just hanging out tonight, sharing 10 tips on how you can grow your YouTube channel. If you're getting great value out of what we're discussing tonight, give us a hashtag value in the comments section. Those of you who are going to watch the replay, give us a hashtag replay. And so having a goal while you're starting your YouTube channel will help you to get past those tough times. All right, so that was that goal. We talked about being a student. We talked about having a goal. Tip number 7: understand the ways you can get monetized. Understand the ways you can get monetized on YouTube, and understanding it's not about just YouTube AdSense. And you may say, "Well, Walter, I'm still under a 1,000 subscribers. I haven't even got 500 subscribers yet." But guess what? You got to have a vision about, when we go back to that goal, you got to have a vision of why you're on YouTube. And you got to have a vision of how you want to monetize your channel, whether if it's through AdSense, whether if it's through merch, t-shirts, hoodies, whether if it's going to be through online courses that you're going to create, whether if it's going to be through brand deals, sponsorships. Begin to write things down on how you want to be able to bring in revenue, whether if it's through through Patreon. Having the ways written down how you want to see your channel monetize, and then that'll give you the motivation to move forward and to begin, so that way when those opportunities come, you won't be scratching your head saying, okay, I got a brand, Paul, I got a brand deal, Paul, what am I supposed to do? Well, if I spent the time and I've educated myself on how brand deals works and how sponsorships work, then I'll be ready to move forward in it. And that's just one of the other ways I can monetize my channel and how I can grow. And so looking at the ways you can monetize. All right. And so then we want to talk about tip number 8: embracing YouTube analytics. Embracing YouTube analytics. I don't know why my mouse is not moving. Okay, cool. There we go. Got some comments here. Okay, boom. I'm gonna have to. I think was it Paul? All right. So KH Gaming says, boom. Tip number 6. Is that tip number 6? All right, cool. I hear you. Oh, he's back. Cool. All right. I appreciate you being back. Oh, I appreciate you subscribing, sir. I appreciate you subscribing. All right. Replay. Hashtag replay. Yes, sir. Like I said, it's if it's just me, you, and Paul, and our great replay viewers that'll come on later, it's all right, because that's the and I didn't put this down as a tip. I learned sometimes when it's just you by yourself and you don't have someone, sometimes that's just your dress rehearsal, practicing. I always wanted to be a dancer that was like would be break dancing and hip hop, and I wanted to be the type of individual who really had skills and put in the work. And I would imagine myself being at in a place where I could really just perfect my craft. And when it was time to get before someone and start battling them, I had put the time. Now, of course, all of that was in my head. I never really worked on it, but I took that same principle and I said, okay, if it's a live stream, it would just be by myself, live stream of Paul and yourself, KH Gaming. That's okay, because it gives me the opportunity. I'll look at it as you guys are my coach. You guys are coaching me and say, okay, work on your shot, work on your dribble, work on your defense, move your feet. And so when it comes time for the big game and I'm sitting with an audience of maybe 400 viewers watching the live stream, I've perfected these things when it was just in the small uh times where I only had one or two of no one at all. And that all ties into growth, you growing on YouTube. And so tying that in, embracing your analytics. As you brace your analytics and you've put together maybe 20 or 30 videos, go back and look at those 20 and 30 videos and look at the thumbnails that you made in those 20, 30 videos. Is there a connection of how people were clicking on your videos or not clicking? Looking at your YouTube analytics, and was there a bunch of how-to videos on maybe how to get more views, how to get your first 100 subscribers, how to stand out? Your YouTube analytics will begin to show you a pattern on where your growth is coming from. It'll begin to show you where your audience is connecting. It'll start leaving clues where you can then make more content. And so I think that was probably I always ask this question on the huddle: what are 3 things you wish you knew before starting YouTube? And I'll tell you, one of the biggest things I wish I knew before starting YouTube and starting my YouTube channel was the importance of embracing my YouTube analytics and spending the time to become a student of my YouTube analytics so that I can then help my channel grow. And had I took the time, then what would have happened is what I would have saw is I would have saw the videos that are not connecting with people on the channel. And I wouldn't have been spending that time constantly making content for something that people were not interested in, were not connecting to. I could then have been able to pivot. And so that's what I want to encourage you to do. Embrace your YouTube analytics. Begin to, and one of the videos that I watch, even if it's new to you and you're like, Walter, it's foreign about the audience, it's foreign to me about the reach, it's foreign to me about the engagement. Let me tell you something. Right now in the live stream is Mr. Paul Andre De Vera. He is an SEO specialist. He knows about keyword research. If you are in the chat, look that man up and reach out to him. He has been on my show on the Huddle with Walter Strong. And so if you need help with YouTube analytics and keyword research, this is the man right here who I have right there up on the screen. That's the man, shouting him out. And so if you need help on being able to embrace your YouTube analytics, he's the man you want to connect with. And so embracing our YouTube analytics, that's what it's about. Tip number 9, how to collaborate with other YouTube creators. You know, I get this question a lot, Walter, how do I collaborate with other YouTube creators? Um, how do I find people I can collaborate? And I believe it's about step one, not going to a person and saying, would you do a collaboration with me? But we don't even know each other. You know, it's like you going to a young lady that you want to go out with and say, would you go out with me on a date? And she's gonna look at you like, bro, who are you? What are you talking about? Get out my face. You gotta have a basis of where you start and build a relationship. Maybe going and to, like I said, the channel and subscribing to that channel, watching some of that other person's content so you can see if that content connects with you. Do you have the similar niche? Maybe you are a person who has a cooking channel, who vlogs, but maybe the person is someone who's in the restaurant industry. So though you may not be doing the same thing, but there's a connection there, how you both can collaborate. So spending time getting to know each other's channels, spending time developing a relationship where you're kind of making, not trying to just comment and say, okay, I subscribe to you, now subscribe to my channel, or I left comments on yours, now come lip. No, no. Spend time getting to making yourself known to that person. Maybe finding that person um, at an event. So I had the privilege of meeting Mr. Paul Andre DeVero at Grow with Video 2021, and we clicked and we had some conversations, and it was one of those things like, yeah, we want to work together. We want to put some content together because we got some similar goals and similar interests. We're connected with Grow with Video 2021 and 2022. Sean Cannell and the Think Media crew. Shout out to them and Heather Torres and Omar and so many others. And there's a connection there. And so we were like, yeah, we want to collaborate. And so when you want to collaborate with someone, collaboration provides you the opportunity to be able to grow your channel and get exposed to a new audience. But I'm a big believer of first build a relationship with someone before you try to want to ask them to marry you. To spend some time getting to know someone, knowing about them, about their channel, and then it's also about etiquette, how you ask someone, put a plan together. Why you feel that this is a good opportunity for me and you to collaborate, and how, and not so much in terms of what's in it for you, but how it's going to benefit the both of it. How, and me collaborating with you, how it's going to help build, add value to your audience. And so being able to collaborate with other content creators, even if you're a small channel, finding someone who's kind of maybe in that 100 to 500 subscriber range. Maybe you're at 200. Maybe finding someone who's at 500 to 1,000, where you're trying to help add value to them to help them grow more of their channel. Maybe a person who's like maybe 10 or 12 subscribers away of monetizing. And so you want to kind of help as a goal to say, let me expose you to my audience, let them get a taste of your content, and maybe help grow your channel. There's something not just in it for you, but it's something for them as well. And so there's so much I can really go on that tip of collaboration. We're going to really touch on that in the coming weeks, because that's an online course that I'm in the process of working on, putting together, that I feel really needs to be put together. And so I am excited about that. And then my last tip is understand that YouTube is a marathon. It is not a sprint. It is not if you ever followed the Olympics and runners like Usain Bolt, Michael Johnson, Ben Johnson, Carl Lewis, it's not a 200, 400 race and you just boom running and get your gold medal. It's a marathon. It's you start out at 7 in the morning and you probably won't cross that finish line until 2, 3 in the afternoon, because you realize you're in it for the long haul. And if you understand that YouTube is a marathon and not a sprint. You understand that there's going to be periods where there could be some slow growth. There may not be any views and subscribers on some videos. I put some videos together and I said, man, this video is going to take off and it's going to really click and it's going to really connect with my audience. And I got crickets. And I'll be honest with you. I got frustrated. I got upset. I was like, what's wrong? YouTube is against me. YouTube got something against me. YouTube is out to stop me from my channel from blowing. And the truth of the matter is that that video that I thought was going to do so well um didn't do so well because I didn't do my homework. Maybe I didn't do enough keyword research. Maybe I didn't get on, TubeBuddy. Now this video is not sponsored by TubeBuddy. I use TubeBuddy, but maybe I didn't do my homework in going on TubeBuddy and really looking at my title and my description. And as a result, the video fell flat. And so you got to be willing to do your homework and understand that YouTube is not a sprint. It's a marathon. I don't know why my mouse is tripping on me, but that's okay. We're gonna do what we got to do. I see another. We got to shout him out. Let me tell you something. When I talk about collaborations, this is the guy right here. He saw me. This guy, this channel. Those of you who really need help on tech, especially if you are in the faith-based organization, you have a church, and you want to be able to take your live streaming to the next level, this is the man, AJ, the CEO, the man right here. You want to check out his channel because he has some great content on helping you to be able to grow help your church and your live stream. Again, my man, Mr. Paul Andre Devera. So many great people here in the live stream this evening. We just came out tonight on this Wednesday night. I think, God willing, we want to continue this momentum. If, like I said, if you guys are in your battle station and you got the camera, you got the mic, you got the lights, let me know. I will put the link again in the chat. Let you come on. If you want to talk about your channel, we can do that as well. Hold on, let me get this down at the bottom here. Get this down here at the bottom. Yep. So anyone who has questions, any comments, if you are a new YouTube creator and you need some feedback on how to grow your channel, that's what this YouTube Hangout is going to be about. We're going to do some stuff. Yes, I have the Huddle on Saturday morning where we do a lot of interviewing. Okay, let me just put this in the chat because I got some heavyweights. All right, link is in the chat. I got some heavyweights. So if your battle station is fired up and you want to come on the first installment of the YouTube Hangout, the floor is yours. The floor is yours. And so we want to do this now. As much as I want, let me give this disclaimer because we talked about consistency, right? As much as I want to do this consistently on Wednesday, every night, this Wednesday, unfortunately, I won't be able to because I have to go back home to Detroit, Michigan, where I'm from. My father, he passed away, so I have to take care of my father's arrangements and taking care of his funeral and burial. So I won't be doing a YouTube hangout. There will not be, unfortunately, the huddle for 2 Saturdays. It's gonna hurt me. Well, really, I didn't have a huddle last week, so really I'm going on 3 weeks without a huddle, and that's not like me. But life and situations happen where you can't do certain things that you would like, and so I won't be able to. Thank you, AJ, for your thoughts and your prayers. But I'm a real believer in consistency, and I just got to go back to this man, AJ. He was willing to take a shot on a young guy, young whippersnapper, green and wet behind the ears of wanting to do a collaboration. I don't even think I had even 100 subscribers yet, and he had probably somewhere 20 to 30,000 subscribers. But because we connected in our relationship with the Lord, we connected about technology and growth and helping churches grow. And I'm part of a church, and he's part of a ministry and different things like that. Um, we were able to collaborate with one another, and I believe that's what it's all about. If you know you can add value to another person that you want to work with, they're willing to work with you. He was able to see the value in how I could add to him, and even though he has more subscribers, more views, he saw something in me and said, oh, this guy can help add value to my YouTube channel. I'm also subscribed to his channel. I watch his live streams. There's a relationship there. And so again, in the coming weeks, we're really going to really be hammering about collaboration on the right way, how you can collaborate. And I'll leave you with this thought. I'm also learning not only that you have to learn how to collaborate with someone the right way, you got to be able to be honest and say, what mistakes have I made in trying to collaborate with someone? Why is someone rejecting my offer to collaborate? It could be just a simple fact that you're just not a good fit. You know, I know we all like the odd couple with Oscar and Felix, but that's a television show. This is YouTube. So it could be an Oscar and Felix where you're just an odd couple. It could be timing. I've reached out to certain people to come on the Huddle and to be able to share their journey and their story as a YouTube creator. And I got crickets because maybe they're just busy and they just don't have the time. They're getting way too many requests. And then, like I said, maybe because you are struggling with getting people willing to collaborate you so that you can have growth on your YouTube channel and growth on theirs as well, is because you don't have certain things right. You like we go back to the tip about your consistency of brand and your message. And I'll go back to guys like Paul and AJ. By working with them, it opened the doors. Now you may look at my numbers and say, you really don't have all of that in views and subscribers. But let me tell you something. We're getting ready to bring on a mega hitter on the first installment of the YouTube Hangout. Man, if I had, wait a minute. We are in the presence of greatness. If I had an applause button, we would be hitting the applause button, bringing this man in the right way. We have the one, the only, Mr. AJ, the sweet. Oh, what's up, man?
Man, hey, it must be something important going on today because I was asleep and then I ended up couldn't go to sleep. I woke up and I went to go get dressed to go to Sheets to go get something to eat, and I'm like, wait a minute, somebody live streaming. Let me see what you talking about up on here. So I just happened to be up. So I was like, wait a minute, I saw the jump down there. I was like, let me get on here, holler at my brother here, see what he got going on.
Yes, sir, man. I just felt this inspiration of just wanting to put together where we can just get together and hang out and chat as content creators and learn from one another. I put together this little 10 tips and for discussion point, but just wanted to pull some people together and say, let's hang out and talk.
Cool.
And you blessed us with your presence, man.
Man, I'm getting ready to go on vacation, so
Well deserved. Yes, sir.
I'm kind of amped right now because I need to go to sleep, but then I can't. So
You so excited you can't go to sleep.
yeah, hey, it's been a long time, man. But no,
Now, how you gonna
I
go ahead?
I'm going. Yeah,
Are you gonna be flying? Are you gonna train, bus, car, walk?
yeah, we flying. We going to new places and
All
different
right.
destinations. We are heading to a place I've never
All
been
right.
to. We going to Ireland.
Okay.
So I
Man,
need to get used
congratulate
around there.
man,
Some
watching
get me
all your
used.
live streams and the stuff that you do from church to church in it. Congratulations. You a
Hey,
man
well,
who deserve it. Now, your daughter
hey, well, I
going with you?
appreciate it. I appreciate it because I know one thing, kind of like what you said, is like that is so true. You were talking about like you put a lot of work into a video, you thought it was going to be a hitter, and nothing happened. Man,
Hmm.
I think my number one video on my channel, I think it was close to 400,000 views. And when I first did that,
Hmm.
in the first year, that video had 12 people that watched it, and I was six of them.
Oh my gosh.
And it was like, and we talk about it just like you're talking about on here. It's like you need to keep hitting the record button. You need to
Hmm.
keep doing what you're doing, even if nobody's watching. And
Yes.
that from a whether your viewers are faith based or not, it's like you just have to believe that if you got that thought, it's for a reason. And I kept going even when nobody did anything, and then boom, COVID hit, and then that video just took off. It took off 18 months after it was posted.
Mhm. And what
So
was the
you just
name of
never
it?
know.
Do you remember the
Um,
name of it?
how to live stream your church service.
Yes, I recently watched that about maybe 2 months ago because I had to put a presentation. I went straight to you for that, and you put that together. How long ago?
It was 2 years before COVID.
Wow. So
I mean, because
that's
everybody was like, "We don't need that's only for them highfalutin ministries."
right,
I
right.
didn't I didn't know, you know, when the inspiration hit that I was like, "Man, I think this is gonna be real
Oh,
good,"
oh,
because I don't really see nobody.
let me spotlight you so you can. Class is in session. Let's get the instructor here. Got that right. Is he solo? All right, you got the flow. Educate us on this whole principle. You're putting a video together. You think it's the bomb, it's gonna blow up, and you got crickets for months, and then boom, 2 years later it explodes. Educate
Yeah, I
our
mean,
viewers to see.
yeah, it's just one of those things that, for me, I knew. I mean, I started my channel just because I didn't want to keep repeating the stuff I was teaching my media ministry. So I
Okay.
put it mainly for my media ministry to show them. And then people started hearing about it. And then I started researching, and there wasn't really anything that in my niche. There was,
Hmm.
yeah, there was plenty of tech people, there were plenty of church people, but it was never a tech and a church thing. And I'm like, let me fill in the gap.
Hmm.
And I was like, I used to just tell myself, just like you were talking about, I would put videos out there and it would be crickets. And I literally had to tell myself, I am not the only person out here that is interested in computers and is faith based. It
Hmm.
is no way I'm by myself, but I'm not hearing nobody. So maybe if I keep like the old Field of Dreams, if I build it, maybe they'll come.
Come, yes, yes.
And I just kept going it. I mean, I'm sure family's probably gonna see this and they might not gonna like it, but I had a lot of people, family, thought that this was crazy.
Hmm.
And you look back at it now, the same crickets that I was getting when nobody was watching videos,
Hmm.
just like anybody, y'all keep pushing, keep pushing. The crickets are now gonna be the people who used to say that ain't gonna never gonna work. That's where the
Hmm.
crickets are now. They don't say nothing.
Right, right, and you can't allow those crickets to discourage. And in a sense, let the crickets be the crowd that you hear, though there's no one in the stands. And I would remember what Kobe would say, how he would get up 4 in the morning and he just be practicing like the whole gym is filled. And so let the crickets be your Kobe Bryant moment where you're by yourself, and when it's time for you to in Game 7 to be in the finals, hey, the videos will they'll take off in their time. And so, I mean, I appreciate you coming on and just I believe I'm a big believer in giving people their flowers now.
Well, I
I
appreciate it.
really appreciate you taking a shot on me, even though my numbers didn't look nowhere near yours or didn't have the views where you were doing, and you said this little young whippersnapper got something here. Let me connect with him.
Hey, I mean, I think that's um the uniqueness. I think that's why, like, even now, I don't
Hmm.
do I get the numbers I really want? No, I
Hmm.
don't. But I think that the genuineness that you
Hmm.
show rise through. I've had a ton of people come to my channel, and over time they're like, in it builds you build a following, you build fans, not because you're clean, that your character shines through. I've
Yes.
had tons of people come by. It's like, yeah, AJ, yeah, there's tons of other people that talk about the same stuff that you do, but there's
Mm-hmm.
something I can't put my finger on it. It's just something different.
Okay.
And and I want to say that's the Holy Spirit. I want to say that's God. But again, whether you believe that or not, I
Yes,
mean, it
this is
doesn't
true
matter to
too.
me. It's like my whole thing is let you shine through. Don't
Mhm.
be a first class you, not a second class somebody else. You know?
Boom. He just dropped the mic. And so we want to encourage you. This, putting together your best work and just continue to just be consistent, put it out there. And these 10 tips that we've talked about, especially I want to give a shout out to all of those of you who will watch the replay. Chew on these 10 tips. Chew on them, chew on them, chew on them. And when the time comes, when the time is right, the subscribers and views, they will come. And so I want to thank you, sir, for coming on. I'm gonna let you go ahead and get you some rest. And we're
Well,
gonna go.
I'm gonna go get something to eat, then I'm gonna go get go
Oh yeah,
somewhere.
I smell some food in mine in my kitchen too, so I'm gonna do that too. But again, I'll let you go ahead and thank you so much. Safe trip. When you coming back?
Um, next week sometime.
Okay,
Maybe
okay,
like Wednesday or something like that, but I'm still out of the office until the 17th. My admin, which is another thing.
mm.
Here's the hope for all of y'all. Y'all
Oh,
keep
hey, you
pushing.
get bonus.
Yeah, you keep pushing. I remember doing all this, and then it got to the point. Your channel is going to get to a point where you're able to. Well, let me just put it this way. There's
Mhm.
a. Have you ever read a book called The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson?
No, I haven't. Okay, I'm gonna have to get that.
Yeah, you need to get that
Okay.
because that book, if you read that, whether you're faith believer or not, you read that book. The first part is broke down into a parable. The
Mhm.
second part is kind of a breakdown, and that book talks about the story of a nobody in the
Mhm.
land of. I mean, yeah, an ordinary person in the land of nobodies,
Mhm.
and that nobody wanted to become a somebody,
Mhm.
and he found his purpose, that the dream giver God gave him his
Okay.
purpose, and he chose to follow it when everybody else didn't, and his whole life changed, and that nobody became a somebody to inspire a bunch of nobodies to become somebody.
All right now. Can,
So I
can I
mean
get an
it's
applause? Can I get an applause behind that one?
there you go.
There it is. The one, the only. Hey, Jay, the CEO.
But yeah, it's a good one. I mean, that book, I've read it originally 12 years ago, and then when I started going into this whole path of doing YouTube, I came across that book again, and
Mm,
that book literally spoke to every single aspect of your journey. You go through your doubt,
mm,
thinking that I made a wrong decision, so you decide to turn around to the land of familiar because you're
mm,
out there somewhere else. You're a nobody, and everybody's saying, "How dare you want to be more than a nobody?" We're all
mm,
fine with that. Why do you want to be something different? And you want to stay in the land of familiar, but you can't find who you are in the familiar. You got to go to
mhm,
the wasteland and
mhm,
find you. And then you come across the giants of doubt,
mhm,
um, self-esteem, moneyless. Are you
mhm.
going to be able to push through that? Because sooner or later you fight them with the truth and you'll
Right.
conquer them. And then it'll get to the point where moneyless is not a problem. And that goes back around. When I was pushing for this, it got to the point now I'm able to hire people to help with the channel. There was no way I was
Mhm,
thinking back then, trying to get somebody to watch one view, to now I have staff and I have
mhm.
employees.
Wow. Hey, if AJ is speaking to you, put in the chat. He's speaking to me. He's speak because I know he's speaking to me. But he's speaking to you. Put in the chat. He's speaking to me. What? He's speaking to me. Yes,
Hey
sir.
man, like I said, keep it up, keep it up. That's what we need. We need more people to push through. Because hey, the good thing about it is, hey, there's more and more TV channels that are coming on all the time. Don't ever think there's a unique you that I'm not meant to speak to everybody. You're not meant to speak to everybody, but there are people that you're meant to speak to, and anybody else is watching. Your content is meant for some people, and they'll never get it if you stop hitting record.
There it is. I will pass the offering plate later for those of you in the chat, and we will get a collection because the preacher has preached.
All right, man. Well, you have yourself a good night.
Yes, sir.
All right, later.
Later. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this first installment of the YouTube Hangout, from Paul to AJ to my man Gamer, to all of you who I may have not have been able to hit and get your comments up. Shout out to you. Thank you for taking time out your schedule just joining me. And we'll do this again. Like I said, I won't be able to do it next Wednesday. Take care of the arrangements of my dad. But when we get back, we're going to have another YouTube Hangout. And so we're going to shut this puppy down. But again, I want to thank you for this opportunity of joining me on the YouTube Hangout. And so as we close, if you hadn't had an opportunity yet, please subscribe to the channel, click the like button, share, and we close out by saying many are the plans in a person's heart, but it's the Lord's purpose that will prevail in your life. Make a quality decision and allow God's purpose to prevail in your life. Hit record. Let's make some videos. We'll see you next time.